Nuxtjs is a framework which is built on top of VueJS, which helps you to build VueJS project in little bit better way. So what is meant by this little bit better way? Usually when you are using VueJS, you have to create router, and in that router you have to define all the pages. Nuxtjs provides this feature using file creation. So how does this help you? So in order to create one new route on Nuxtjs, you just need to create one new page, and inside that page whatever you write will be displayed on that particular route. So if you want to create about page, you just create about.view, and the moment you do that, if you go to website and if you go something like localhost 3000/about, immediately whatever you wrote inside that particular VueJS template, it will be displayed in the web page. So this is one of the simplest way using which I can explain you that what Nuxtjs is. But actually Nuxtjs does even more than that. It helps you to render application in server side. So whenever user comes to your website, that time entire page is ready to be used, and it will be a full-fledged VueJS application. So don't think that it will be like something else like PHP or something like that. It will have all the powerful features of Vue, but it also includes even better things. So first reason I would like to give you why you need to use Nuxtjs is auto import. So what is this auto import? Whenever we create one JavaScript project, that time we have to import lots of files. So whenever we are using Nuxtjs, you don't have to import anything. By default, everything is available to use, and it will be automatically added to your project whenever you are directly writing it. In order to include some component, you don't have to go to top and write import component name from some folder. You can directly go and use that component in your template, and immediately that will be available to use. It won't give any kind of errors. This saves lots of time, because I know that whenever we are creating some front-end projects using Vue.js or even React for that matter, we need to import lots of files, and in order to keep track of what and all things we have imported and where and all it is going to be used, it's very hard to do. The thing is, yeah, I know your VS Code will be importing it automatically, but I know that sometimes it won't work, and you also know that it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you have to go to top and write everything manually, but in Nuxtjs you can directly use auto import feature. You don't have to manually write any kind of import statement. By default it's available. Second reason is lots of features which you might require in your application is pre-baked into it. For example, you want to create something like new page in Nuxtjs, you don't have to like include it in router or anything like that. By default, when you create one page name, automatically that page can be viewed on website just by creating one new file in your pages folder. More than that, even layouting option is available, so that you can keep header and footer in same layout, and you can create as many layout as you want to create, and you can directly make sure that whatever the page you want to render gets rendered in proper layout. For example, if you are creating some complex application which has admin and employee and public layout, so that time you can like easily organize. You can mention that each and every page can be rendered in a specific layout which you want to render it in. So that's one of the amazing feature which you can directly use to render the layout. Third reason is it has server-side rendering. So what is this server-side rendering? So whenever one page gets loaded, that time using SSR, the page loads little bit faster on the browser, as well as it has SEO benefits. So how does this SEO benefit will be useful? Nowadays, like even search engine crawls the JavaScript, right? So why do you think you require SSR? The thing is, Google and all the other search engines have specific criteria that it will crawl the JavaScript only if that website is reputed and Google or some other search engine needs to get benefited by it. Then only it will try to render it. Meaning it won't give priority to your website if you just launched it. So that's why having this server-side rendering will help you to just render out whatever the HTML you want to render from the server whenever that page gets loaded. That's why SEO will be obviously improved, as well as your page loading speed and all the other other fancy stuffs which you might require to benchmark your website speed. Fourth reason is ecosystem is so good. So usually in VueJS we can just import whatever the package which we want and we can directly use it in our application. The thing is, in Nuxtjs there is concept of plugins. So these plugins are specifically designed for Nuxtjs, and using these plugins we can directly use whatever the feature which we want to get from that particular plugin in our application very easily. And most of these plugins will be compatible in server side rendering as well as even client side rendering. Using these plugins we can just include it in Nuxt configuration file, and once it's included the plugin is available to use everywhere. And plugins like Pina and authentication and lots of other plugins which you can check it in Nuxtjs website are available. And overall this ecosystem is so good because whatever the new plugin you want to get, you can even create your own custom plugins and include it, or you can use whatever the pre-built plugin which is created by the community as well as even official VueJS and Nuxtjs plugins. So this entire ecosystem feels like okay, the active project development is going on and you will always have support of community to help you to get new features and use it in your project. Fifth and final reason is the Nuxtjs make sure that the things are not getting overcomplicated. So that basic concept of Nuxtjs is you don't need to create all the configuration by yourself. Instead of configuring each and everything, you just focus on creating whatever you want to create. So if you want to create one website with 5 different pages and form and some data viewable option, then you can directly go ahead and you can create those web pages and focus on building that feature instead of configuring each and everything which you have to do if you are using Vue.js or even something like React or Angular. That's the one of the best thing with the Nuxt.js, and I would highly recommend you to go ahead and try Nuxt.js if you are already familiar with Vue.js or even if you are coming from React background. So that's it for this video guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.